Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, Kyrie Irving has made the decision to not get the jab, and he's not eligible to play at Brooklyn Nets home games. But instead of having him play at all the other games, the Nets made the decision to ban him from all team activities until he submits and gets the jab. And I haven't actually heard this yet. I've just seen this little headline. But Charles Barkley, who we talk about a lot, often has some takes that are more common sense oriented.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't sound like that.
It's not.
So
I've heard it.
let's listen.
Your buddy over here is grimacing. Chuck?
First of all, you don't get the vaccine for yourself. You get it for other people.
No, I'm not saying.
Hold on, brother. I want you said your piece.
No, I didn't say you do.
I got vaccinated. I can't wait to get the booster. You don't get vaccinated just for yourself. Like Adam said, you get vaccinated for your family first. You get vaccinated for your teammates second, things like that. That's what bothers me about this whole thing. I think everybody should get vaccinated. And let me tell you something. I really am proud of the Nets for putting their foot down, for saying, no, we're not going to deal with this half on, half off. The only thing that bugged me, he's still going to make $17 million sitting at home. I wish they could find a way. If he wants to go on this thing, like, people say he's like Ali. First of all, don't ever compare anybody to Ali. Ali went 3 years without boxing. He was the highest paid athlete in the world. This guy going to make $17 million for sitting at home. But to every person out there, you don't get vaccinated just for yourself. Let's get that out the way.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. And this goes to show, on a serious note, this goes to show how completely inept a lot of these guys are. They talk amongst themselves. They discuss it, and there's no pushback. You see nobody on that panel pushed back. What Charles Barkley literally said, it's funny what they deem as all this shit is medical misinformation. What he said, objectively speaking, was medical misinformation, because the jab does not stop you. This is not my opinion. This is not me just guessing or talking out of my behind. The jab does not stop you from getting it and or spreading it. So it is an absolute lie. Yes, the only person that you are protecting is yourself. That's who it is that you're protecting. Yeah, did they move the goalpost? Of course. Dr. Rochelle Walensky back in March was saying that people that were getting it, the jab that is, were not catching it and spreading it. Okay, then that was not the case anymore. Then he came out and then they admitted it does not stop transmission. So what the fuck are you talking about, Charles Barkley, when you say you get it for other people? You getting it does not stop you from spreading it to other people. Again, we're not talking about opinions here. This is what their own data says. And even your beloved Rochelle Walensky, when they finally had to concede it, when she went on national television and said that we know now it does not stop transmission, you're not allowed to fall back on that anymore. You can't fall back on, oh, well, you're stopping it or you take this to protect someone else. That's horse shit, because you being jabbed can still spread it. Not only that, there's a lot of data that's coming out that's suggesting it's a lot more than what you initially anticipated. We see what happened in Israel. We see Singapore has this high vaccination rate. Despite that, has a higher case rate than they've ever had, even through the peak of this. So this is my problem with these sports commentators on this subject, is that they continue to talk about this shit, and it goes basically, there's no pushback because they all are in an echo chamber. Anybody with any sense would have checked Charles' ass right there and said, Charles, I get what you're saying. I understand the propaganda that these folks are spreading that went through your little brain that you got, but what you're saying is incorrect information. It's simply not true. You can't fall back on that. But that's what we see with them. We've seen Skip and Shannon talk about this shit. No pushback. And they keep all ragging on Kyrie Irving. And it's about selfishness or some sort. And they keep operating on a falsehood. And that's that the jab stops you from spreading it to other people. So you're protecting your teammates and your family and all the other bullshit. That's horse shit, man. I can't believe that they're still getting away with that, and there's nobody there on those panels that are checking them and saying that's incorrect information. It's unbelievable, man. Fucking unbelievable.
And we see the people that try to push back, like Kenny, when he tried to, he got shut down. When Jay Williams tried to push back against Stephen A. Smith, he gets shut down.
Because he gives them leeway. That's why they always say, well, I understand. I took it. Don't say that. That's irrelevant. The fact of the matter is that you're operating on a falsehood, man. Just check them. They're wrong. They're objectively wrong. And it's anti-scientific in terms of what they're discussing. Yet they get away with it. they get away, and then the people that do challenge him, it's like half-assed, like, no, they're incorrect, man. He said that with so much confidence, but what he said was an incorrect medical statement. As objectively, they talk about medical misinformation. What he said was medical misinformation. It's simply not true, and I can't believe he's still getting away with that shit, man. Unbelievable, man. Fucking unbelievable.
I mean, my thing with Charles is I kind of look at Charles in a way like I kind of with Dave Chappelle, where I really respect Dave Chappelle because he genuinely has, like, it seems to, like, even when he did, like, the George Floyd bit, you know, where I was, like, rolling my eyes, you know, with Dave, I was like, oh my God, like, really? But Dave Chappelle always has these, you know, his own opinions, it seems like. Charles typically seems like he has his own opinions, but in that instance, all I heard was him echoing what other people are saying in the industry. That's what it comes down to. Yep. And it's just, I go back to, and I can't remember his name. I know you know his name, Ripa, the guy that did the life jacket video, you know.
JB Sears.
Yes. You know, like the life jacket, that's all I think about is the life jacket scenario of, like, why do I need to wear a life jacket if the life jacket protects the other people from it's just, it's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense.
Yeah, and for Charles Barkley, they didn't even go further. Like, I wish they'd take all his money away. I wish they'd make it as painful as possible because everybody should get this. I think everybody should get this. So I want to force that on Kyrie Irving. And that is crazy to me. I've liked a lot of Charles' takes over the years, even though I do think he's a fucking idiot. You know, sometimes some common sense comes out of his mouth. This was not one of those occasions. That is a terrible thing to say on the NBA's opening night about Kyrie Irving, one of the only dudes who was willing to take a stand.
That's your number one NBA show. Listen, I speak as a very selfish person. Please continue to hurt your ratings, NBA, because it helps our analytics on Sports Wars a lot.